Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We are looking at the best transactions of the offseason. Oh boy! Let's talk ball. And politics. The simulation.
Mason Miller.
Opposite field. Just go with it. Just go with it. Did you see him embarrass the Rockies? He's been embarrassing everyone. Speaking of embarrassed, hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. I am Jake Storielli. That is Trevor Plouffe. David Mendelson is producing. Real names, real talk today. I wish we just recorded the pre-show conversation and posted it. We might be canceled. We might have talked real truth, and the Illuminati might be coming for us. We
were just talking ball, dude. What are you talking about?
We talked politics, simulation. Again, new show coming out. Jake and the Crank.
I think we should at least pose the question: who would be a better umpire between the two seemingly presidential candidates, Joe Biden or Donald Trump? I don't know.
Comment below. Trump or Biden, better ump. We're not doing that. What we are doing, it's May 22nd. The season is underway. We want to go back because we spent a whole offseason. I love this move. I can't. Ooh, Sonny Gray. Oh, I remember our reaction, and I don't want to, because I think he's going to be a guy that we're going to select coming up. Okay. When Shota Imanaga signed, the fact his contract wasn't big money, we were kind of like, this guy must stink, huh?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, because everyone's focused on a few other pieces, and we said, okay, Cubs looking for depth is probably what we said.
His fastball's 90, and he only got this contract? I don't know about Shota. Maybe he'll be an MLB guy, but...
That changed really quickly because he got into spring training, and everyone was like, what is going on with this guy? I can't see his pitches. We changed our tune on that, but yeah, I agree with that.
But what are teammates supposed to say at the same time?
You don't hear hear people say that.
The verbiage was different, that they were like, gross. And it turns out they were right. So we want to go back because now that the season's underway and you're mad at your team, you're disappointed at your team, maybe you're in a middle area. What team is the most middle area with their team? That was going to be another episode.
What does that mean?
Like, who's not happy or mad at their team currently?
Probably the Cubs.
I think they're happy with their team.
Yeah. Could be happier.
Like, I was going to say the Mariners, but they just gave the Yankees the business a little bit. Like, I think they're kind of okay with what's going on. I just clicked
Rangers.
NBA standings. Yeah. I was kind of around the Rangers. Like, just won the World Series. They're kind of not living up to
Astros are like finally starting to be like, hey, we're going to be fine. They're not exactly happy with the way they perform, but they're also like, we'll be all right.
Giants. Either way, this isn't the episode that we want to go through. I'm even thinking, like, remember the Royals had a big offseason and now they're good. So we want to go through, and I think we're going to do it kind of draft formatty of our favorite, best transactions of the offseason. And it's brought to you by Shady Rays. I wear my Shady Rays every day. I wear them in the morning. I wear them at night. Wore them to Yankee Stadium last night. Watch them lose. Go Mariners, go. Fear the Moose. Shady Rays, summer is here. Trev's got a nice little Memorial Weekend speech he's going to give at the end of this episode and Friday's up. You need sunnies this summer. And Shady Rays is where you should go. 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And they've got their lost or broken replacement guarantee. Because if you're listening to this, you probably lost or broken sunnies. And if you do that, you hit up Shady and you say, hey, it happened. I'm sorry. And they'll say, okay, here's another one. So you basically have sunglasses for life. And with code Talkin, you get 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized sunglasses. That offer applies to the custom Jimmy and Jake collab shades. Whoops. One of my bigger flexes. Yeah, I have my own sunglasses. It's whatever. Go get yours now. Code Talkin, ShadyRays.com. 50% off 2 or more pairs of premium polarized sunglasses. Trevor, we're going to do the New York boys versus the Cali boys. East Coast, West Coast, a rivalry. Yep. The rap game has seen it. Sports have seen it. I think we just go shot for shot on this one, and me and BBD will punt. We'll give you the ball. Okay. Trevor Plouffe, I've got a lot of respect for you.
Here, you say that on air, but do you really live that way? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because I need to know, I get the format and all that, but are we talking about value signings? What's the indicator here? What are we doing, coach? Are we stealing second base? What do we got here?
We're just doing favorites?
Is this Jerks and Profar is signed for $1 million this year? So to me, that means something, as opposed to a guy that signs for $700 million. Not that Shohei is not as good as Profar or he shouldn't go number one. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, Shohei's kind of.
Does money mean anything?
Shohei's kind of worth it. The money means everything, Pop. That's life. That's what runs this whole damn world. You know that.
I get the number one pick.
That's kind of why I kicked it to you. What if?
I think it's a favorite situation. Take the edge off.
Maybe you can only do one $100 million signing or something like that.
Let's just
do best.
I'm taking Shohei Ohtani.
Okay,
number one.
I love it.
I mean, the deferred money is something. When we first saw that contract, it was nuts. 10 years, $700 million. Most of it deferred. Average annual values right around 45, 46 million. At least that's what's going on the CBT. But he's franchise altering. I don't want to dig at the rest of these guys, but none of them are like that. They're just not. He is worth that. I mean, he has to play well, but the market that he brings, you go to that stadium right now, and there's a different feel at the ballpark. When when he starts pitching again, it's going to be nuts. On the days that he's pitching, look out, man. But so he's not doing that this year, as we know, and he's still MVP 1 in the National League right now. The guy is on track to win the Triple Crown. 353 batting average as we speak today. 424 OBP. He's one dotting it on the season. His OPS plus shake is 202. It's nuts, man. 3.1 WAR already, and that is as a DH, and you get knocked for that. He's everything. And all this is coming off the heels of a scandal, Jake. A scandal that would have maybe broken
that's
other
done,
people.
Bro. We moved on.
It's how crazy is that? It went from being one of the biggest stories in sports, and now we don't even hear about it. Oh, Ipe pleaded not guilty or something.
Oh, he pleaded super guilty.
It went not guilty, then guilty, I think it was the case. I'm not really sure. But that's think about that. That was a massive story, but it's overshadowed because he's played so well. It's wild, man. I mean, I don't know how you could pick anybody other than that. I get the money's different, but
dude,
if
also
somebody's
not
willing to pay you that money, he's worth it.
Because
they don't just throw around dumb money like that, man. So Shohei to me is buying. We talked about not even including him in this exercise because it's he's different. He's different than any other player in the big leagues. And that's the truth. And he's not even fucking pitching this year.
We did the whole, is it best? Is it value? Which way do we want to label it? Either way, it's Shohei. Isn't he getting paid $2 million this year? Technically?
Well, what his salary for this season is $2 million.
So on the books, I think for the Dodgers, it's
45.
listed as 28, I think.
No, you average. No, so how the CBT works. That's easy. They just average out the contract.
Yeah.
That's out. Present day value, they had to put a mark on it. It's 45 against the CBT.
I'm laughing.
Luxury tax 46. I'm looking at.
I'm remembering us trying to figure that out originally, and God, we were.
Yeah.
Those episodes should have been called Four Guys Humping Doorknobs. Shohei's the right pick. Because, however, if you want to start, we could do our jersey sales speech and whatever. His stats are just silly.
It's crazy, man.
And then I was laughing because how easy would it be if Shohei had If Shohei had an 850 OPS right now, one of the better in baseball, we'd be saying like, oh, well, Shohei's been good. And,
back to pitching next year.
Coming off the Ippei thing, he's probably rehabbing his arm. And to still be doing that, no.
Poppy's got 11 stolen bases, too.
No, like
this guy's... It's a joke, man. Like, I'm not... You just don't see players like this. You don't. It's different. And again, go to the ballpark. Please go see this guy on the road if he's coming to your city. Just go see him play. I used to tell people that all the time when he was in Anaheim. Like, if you're in Los Angeles, like, you got a chance to go see Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani play together. That's not going to be that way for a long time. Plus, the tickets are cheap. Like, go see this guy. I still say the same thing. Anywhere this guy goes, it's like you have to go see him. You have to be able to say, if you're a baseball fan in this generation, you have to be able to say, I saw Shohei Ohtani play on the field. That's going to be like saying, I saw Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth. Like, you have to be able to say that to your grandkids. Your grandkids will hate you.
Yeah.
If you don't go see Shohei Ohtani play live, okay?
Couple things on that. I remember when I was living in Denver, I went to a Rockies game and I saw Bryce Harper homered, and I was like, that's really cool, and I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. Shohei, I was just running through my head, have I seen Shohei play? His first start at Yankee Stadium when they knocked him out in the first inning because he can't handle the city.
Yeah, he can't at all.
I'm going to go see Shohei some more because he's awesome. Trev, great first pick. I think you nailed that. I think there's a 1A, a 1B. And it's one of his countrymen, which again, get ready for Trev's Memorial Day speech at the end. Shota Imanaga. Dude. 5-0. All right. We don't care about wins, losses. 0.84 ERA. What was Shohei's OPS plus? 202? Shota's ERA plus is 4.98.
It's a little different, Bob, but yes.
It's a little different. He is making $9.25 million this year. One of my whole Cubs speeches that Cubs fans didn't love, I was like, dude, you're replacing Stroman's first half from last year where he was an all-JM candidate guy. Well, now Shota has been better than that. He's on the book for $13.25 this year. We talked about this a little bit last episode that he's got some team option, player option funk coming up in the 2026, 27, 28. If Shota stopped pitching today, he's outdone his contract. Listed 5'10". I don't know. Did you guys see the picture of him with the WNBA players? I might need to get that on the screen, Beeb, because that's some short king shit. Listed 5'10". And what do we love? We love a little moxie. We love a little energy. Him giving the flex on the mound at Wrigley. Like, who is this guy? We were saying his contract, if he's like a fourth or fifth starter for the Cubs, we're like, that's all you're looking for. He's been the best pitcher in baseball. And look at that. Does it get any better?
He's amazing.
Is that Angel Reese and Cardoso?
I believe
they've been doing this around baseball. All the WNBA players have been out. Shohei was just with a few of them. These are like goddess women just walking around baseball fields.
Cameron Brink with Shohei. I'm a WNBA guy now. They got me. I'm on the line.
Yeah. Okay, let me talk about major league executives, because that's what we really like to talk about, right? As I'm doing research for the show, I'm reading some articles. There's one on MLB.com talking about the execs, and of course they're no-name execs. It's all fucking made up stuff. I don't know. They're telling you their top free agent signings. This is what one guy had to say: the level of performance isn't sustainable, but it looks like Imanaga is at least a 3-WAR pitcher in the near term, and the cost wasn't extreme. Who talks like that? First of all, this guy already has racked up 3-WAR.
Yeah.
He's already racked up 3-WAR.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he going to have a .84 ERA his whole career?
Yes.
No, he's not. Okay. I understand that, but don't say stupid. Say, you know what? We missed on this guy. Man, I wish he was on our team. Why can't you say that? Why can't you say that? It's fair to say he's exceeding expectations based on market value. What are we talking about? Yeah. You swung and missed. You didn't go get this guy. Just say that. Man, we screwed up. Wish this guy was on my team. Wish he was anchoring my rotation at $10 million a year, whatever he's making. Like, let's just have some balls and say we messed up. As a country, it's Memorial Day. Let's talk about it. Have some balls in this country, or, not even that. That's too gender specific. Just have some moxie.
Have some moxie in this country.
I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just those quotes got me fired up, so I'm sorry.
Memorial Day. Trev, I think we'll kick it back to you, and I do want to throw this out there because me and BBD have been texting, trying to line up the board.
Okay.
Are we going to keep this with free agents? Or are trades in play?
I think trades have to. Moves of the offseason.
Okay.
Trades is part of it.
Game on. Then where are you going?
Can I do a two-parter? Like, I want to take two guys because it makes sense for me.
I'll hear you out on it, but like maybe
we'll listen,
no.
And we might say like that gets labeled as this guy.
Okay. There's so many ways you can go here. I mean, gosh, there's so many ways. I'm gonna go with like the Braves or sickos move.
Okay.
So I want to take Chris Sale and Ronaldo Lopez and lump them together. Am I allowed to do that? I think I am. Like, Ronaldo Lopez is not getting drafted from you.
Talk to me, Toots. Let's hear it.
I have a counter to that, maybe.
Oh, you want to do
on our next, like on our next.
I know that. I know you guys are gonna go Juan Soto. I'm not stupid. Okay. I like foresight. I like teams that get a little creative. I think that pitching has been going certain ways for a long time, and I think there are still ways to take advantage of kind of like an outdated mindset in the pitching world. Okay. I'm sick of age being a factor in some of these things. It's what can you do on the baseball field? That's what needs to be talked about when you're in the front office. So you get Chris Sale, and he's pitching for the Red Sox. Red Sox don't want him anymore. They don't. Not that they don't want him. They want to trade him. So they say, "Hey, Braves, do you want him? We'll take Vaughn Grissom. We'll eat $17 million of his salary next year, and you guys can have Chris Sale." Anthopoulos is like, "Sure." Chris Sale has already had a contract in place, and they said, "You know what? We like this guy so much. We think he can do well for us." So they trade for him. They give Vaughn Grissom up because what do they need Vaughn Grissom for? They have everybody locked up forever. So like a position player for them is so expendable. They got Max Fried in his walk year. Like he's thinking foresight. What do we got to do here? Okay. Obviously, didn't know Spencer Strider was going to get hurt, but now these moves look even better. So Sale gets this deal, and I'm still like trying to wrap my head around this deal because he had 2 more years left on the deal that he signed with the Red Sox, but the Braves like, no, rip that deal up. We're going to give you a guaranteed second year, and then we'll take a club option for the 3rd year. So as part of his new deal, he's making $16 million this year. That's pretty close to the non-deferred money because his money was deferred in the last, whatever. Bottom line is Chris Sale has been an absolute nut for the Braves. He looks like an ace. He looks like he's found everything. I talked about this on Baseball Today with Chris Rose. He's a guy that as long as he can stay healthy, he'll be an effective pitcher in the big leagues. He's just different. You don't see arm angles like that. You don't see guys throw like that. It's hard to prepare. You can't say, okay, we're facing Chris Sale. Let me go look at video of this guy who I faced last week. There's nobody like him. So, I think it's genius for the Braves to say, we're gonna take a chance on this guy. Like, let's go do it. We think he still has plenty left in the tank, and he does. Like, the stats this year back that up. Ronaldo Lopez, he goes from what did he go from? He went from the Nationals to the White Sox to the Angels to Cleveland.
Yeah.
As a reliever, sometimes a starter. And the Braves were like, you know what? We kind of like what this guy can do. We think he can be a starter. Everyone was like, what are you talking about? He's going to be a starter. That doesn't make any sense. He's had success in the bullpen. He hasn't done it as a starter. 8 starts this year, a 1.5 ERA, a 1.071 WHIP. Like, you bring both of these guys into your rotation and you stabilize it, understanding, hey, Max Fried's walking. You didn't know Spencer Strider was going to get hurt, but he did get hurt. Now you have this depth, and the Braves are doing Braves things. Are they back at Philly right now? Sure. But where would they be without Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez? I just think, again, and these are easy contracts. 3 years, $30 million for Ronaldo Lopez. They have a team option for 2027. Chris Sale, like, not breaking the bank for a starting pitcher of his caliber, especially what he showed this year. These are very smart, savvy moves. And Thopless is already regarded as maybe the best executive in baseball, but this is just adding to the legacy, bro. So I'm doing Braves or Sickos, second pick, Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez.
I think we're allowing it. And here's, well, A, because of our upcoming move, and B, I think Chris Sale is, in theory, the right answer because he's Chris Sale, and they went out, they got him essentially for free, if not like making money on it. I do think there can, well, with any transaction, another shoe can drop. But you poo-pooing the injury stuff, I can't get there yet because, like, your Twins have been dealing with a lot of injuries. Byron Buxton has gotten hurt. Again, he's just come back. Chris Sale has an injury history. The only thing that indicates future pitching injuries are past pitching injuries. So, like,
every pitcher has injuries.
I get it.
Every single person that steps on that mound is an injury risk.
And maybe the Braves Foundation is actually, like, with the German, like, the lab stuff they're doing, that maybe they're pumping Chris Sale and, like, he's going to be good and whatever.
Go look at his baseball savant. You will like it. It's
I love it.
Red.
I love it. I guess even when Sale was down, I wasn't, or like pitching wise, Sale got hit a little bit between injuries. I still wasn't out on Chris Sale. Like, it's still just the baseball eye test is like, what is this?
I don't know who I was talking to this about, like, yesterday or something, but, like, I was talking to Olivia about it. People have down years or an injured year or something. Like, go look at, like, the greats.
Right.
You know, baseball reference page of any great. Like, there's bound to be a year or two in a storied fucking 15, 20-year career where they didn't perform that well.
Right.
Or they were injured, whatever it is. But Chris Sale has picked it back up. Could you guess his whip right now? Just throw it out there.
0.88.
0.86.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
Yummy.
That is yummy.
I was born in 1986.
Yeah, I remember Lorenzo Cain from 2014 through 2020. It's a pretty good baseball page. Like, Lorenzo Cain had a really, really strong career. There's 1 year that's down, 2019, and someone told us, they're like, oh, yeah, he was, like, super hurt. Like, he was banged up. It's like, oh, okay. And, yeah, you can find a lot of players with that. I guess I was starting with the Sale to knock it down a little bit, but then to also boost Reynaldo. Because, dude, what?
That's crazy.
What? We thought when it came out, the 4 for 40 or whatever it is, 44.
3 for 30.
We thought it was to be a Braves bullpen back guy. Because, like you mentioned, he went to Cleveland and had 11 games where he went shut piece. Sign up for that Jolly Olive video in a couple years. The Cleveland Guardians just picking up the scraps just to pitch their way through the season. What the hell was that?
That was I think there was like one game
awful.
back when they decided this. Just I don't know.
Ronaldo Lopez. I mean, how much love have we given the Jordan Hicks signing? Because we were like, hey, the worst case, he's a good back end of the bullpen guy. The best case is he's a great starter. Ronaldo Lopez has been awesome. And without him and Sale, are the Braves like 500 this year? Like, we've done a lot of the Braves are the Braves and they're going to be there. And by the way, they are.
They are.
Because they're still winning games while not clicking. But without these two, I think I looked at the records in their starts. I think they're like 12-5. We would be talking very differently about the Braves if Ronaldo Lopez wasn't an ace starter and Chris Sale wasn't an ace starter, which if we said that last year, we would have got laughed at.
It's not fair to say, they would have no other depth pieces because clearly that's was on their mind in the offseason was to get somebody to be depth. But the people coming up behind them, guys we saw come up last year as well, like they're not pitching like this. So yeah, I mean, I could confidently say that they'd be in a worse position, a much worse position.
We would be praising the moves if these guys had ERAs at like 4 flat, and it was like, hey, they're turning in fine innings, they're giving them a chance every time out.
Yeah, Sale's throwing
whatever.
Sale's throwing the ball well. He'll probably get better.
You know what? Let me add just in my Braves or Sinkos, Jesse Chavez as well. Come on.
You're out. Speaking of, and we'll do this as a Band-Aid for the people that don't like it, because you made the unfortunate mistake
on Soto
of throwing in Lopez with Soto, BBD played the trump card.
I already wrote it down.
You spotted it immediately.
Verdugo and Soto.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Because Doogie was... I originally thought that he was going to be a flip piece for Soto. We interviewed GM of the Yankees, Brian Cashman, on Talkin' Yanks, Flex, episode 1000. He acknowledged that, and he was like, yeah, that was kind of part of it. The Padres said, no, we're good. Give us all your pitching ever. We're going to go out and sign Jerks, and Profar might get brought up later in this, and we'll be okay. Verdugo has played to Alex Verdugo. Juan Soto has played to Juan Soto. The energy they have brought has changed the Yankees, that they have... Yankee fans are higher than them, and the Yankee fans have ever been on, and those two get as much credit as anyone. It's primarily Soto, but Alex Verdugo is good at baseball, too.
Revolving door in left field since Brett Gardner, right? So you have a guy that you can.
Both have been playing great defense. Verdugo has been great. Soto has been good defensively, and he worked on it. And you talked about like spring training. We hear everything and like, oh, Soto's gross. Bleh. Soto said he was working on his defense, and everyone's like, okay, dude, like go be the historic hitter you are, and we kind of don't care. He has worked on his defense. He's been good.
I mean, look, it's no secret. Like, if you want to be better defensively, you just got to go out there and work at it. I mean, it doesn't work that way with other parts of baseball. You can't just go like take a million swings in the cage and all of a sudden you're gonna be a good hitter. Like, it might help a little bit, but it also might hurt you a lot. Pitchers just can't throw a bunch of pitches in the bullpen and be like, "Oh, I'm better now." Like, that's just not the way it works. It's more detail oriented, mental. But defense is go put the work. Go take a million fly balls. Go take a million ground balls. Like, it's the only thing in baseball where if you just work at it a ton, you're going to get better at it. It's the worst kept secret, but a lot of guys won't do it because they don't want to get tired. And everyone's telling him you got to save yourself for the game. Bullshit. Get out there. And if you want to be a better defender, you can be a better defender. And we were just talking about if I was a hitting coach, what I would do. If I was just a coach, every day you're out there. Your legs are going to be fine. You're how old are you guys? You're in your 20s. Your legs are going to be fine. I'm sick of all that.
We'll find you one day off.
Trev,
here's my coaching glasses.
Oh, no. I know we're both running hot today, and I love it. But even like, dude, twice a week, you play baseball for a living. Do some infield, outfield.
And more teams are doing that. That's become a much more common thing. You're going to see guys out there almost every single day doing the Ron Washington drill. Like, every team does that now. Every single team. If you're not doing that, you're going to fall behind. Dude, so every team does the Ron Washington.
How dumb was it for a decade that we were like, oh, if your team's got Ron Washington, you're going to play defense. Hey, maybe do that.
It's him and Bobby Dickerson.
All they're doing is drills.
And they're kneeling down doing drills. It takes about 5 minutes per player. It's crazy. But yes, I love it. I mean, Juan Soto's Verdugo, great. He's played to, like you said, like Verdugo levels. He's not a world beater. Like, he's not gonna.
He's had his hot streaks. He's had his
he can run an offense from time to time. But Soto. I said that Shohei is a franchise changer. I think Soto could also be that for the Yankees as well.
I love, we are experts in the field, number one baseball show in the world. Thank you, everyone, so much. And we're highlighting the good transactions of Ohtani and Soto. No, it could be a good transaction for you. Pesty. Hey, I know we've got a lot of youngins that listen to this. If you got bugs in your home, let's take care of that. Let's take care of that. And by the way, some of the houses I lived in, oh my God, I might have to dig up some pictures of me and Jimmy's college house in hard-hitting New Britain. There was bugs. With Pesty, it's the do-it-yourself pest control company that allows pro-grade pest control products at an affordable price and a fraction of the cost. Get rid of the bugs. Pest control companies are going to charge you hundreds of dollars. That's tough. That's tough. You don't want to make that business decision. Pesty is super easy and more cost-effective than that. So, if you got bugs, go to pesty.com literally right now. Pesty.com/talkin, and you get an extra 10% off your order. pestie.com/talkin, 10% off. Tell him Jake sent you. I'm your bug guy. I'm your bug canai. What was that?
Love it. I just want to throw this out there. I want people in the comments to comment on who I look like when I put these glasses on. It's a sports figure. Yeah. We're not going to say anything. I'm just going to put the glasses on.
Who are we saying he looks like pre-show?
I mean, I look exactly like this guy. It's crazy.
You labeled it before the show. You look like you would if they were coming out with a biopic and they were casting him in a very nice way. Compliments to you.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Trev, let's go a little high and tighter. I loved everything we talked about. But we are burning and churning a little bit. I think now that those are off the board, I think we have to I do think we have to value it up just a little more.
Okay. So I'm going into this a little bit different. I think people are going to hate my graphic and they're going to hate my picks, but sometimes it's more about, you just kind of mentioned it. Like, what does it do to a franchise when you bring a player in? I'm going to go Corbin Burns.
Ooh, interesting.
I know they had to give up some decent players to get him. I think it was a competitive balance pick or a compensation pick, excuse me.
Joey Ortiz has been balling. Yeah.
So they had to give something up, but I think the Orioles doing that signaled to the league, we are here and we're not going anywhere. We won 101 games last year. And we're a juggernaut. And what do we always do on this show? We're like, if you have this window or you have this team, go make the move.
Yeah.
Go make the move to fortify your position in the game of baseball. And I think when they made this move, everyone was like, oh shit. These guys aren't messing around. And guess what? They have the ability to make 3 more of these moves if they wanted to, with the guys that they've collected that are at the top levels of the minor leagues. They can go out and make some banger moves. I know this is a rental. He's here for 1 year. I understand that. But I think what it signified to the organization and the fan base, and then when they get into the playoffs, what this guy's going to be able to do, I mean, Corbin Burns is a bona fide Cy Young candidate every year, ace of your rotation. He's pitched like it. He's started 10 games, 2.56 ERA, whip at 103. He's the numbers are all there for Corbin Burns. And again, I just think it meant a lot to Orioles fans and the team itself, the roster itself, to say we're not resting on our laurels. We're not just reaping the benefits of a 100-win season and then just going to say, hey, let's just try to do it again with what we got. No, let's go improve the team. We always say, step on the gas, step on the gas, step on the gas. This is the Orioles stepping on the gas. So I'm taking Corbin Burns.
Trev, I mean, not much else to counter on that. I think the Brewers fans are kind of laughing a little bit because they've been amazing this year.
Yeah.
I will say, interesting little mental case study for me because, Joey Ortiz, top 50 prospect, and it's he's going to play defense. Will he hit? And he's been amazing, whatever. DL Hall was supposed to be the Hall of that trade, the like first round pick. It just clicked. One of the best lefty fastballs we've seen in this league. Like what the Brewers are going to be able to do with him. 4 starts, got knocked around, knee. He's been out this year. That I guess for me, when we do trades, we're like, hey, they didn't get the stud prospect, but they got 4 guys. I think this is a little light example of it. That at the end of the day, the Brewers are going to have that pick, who's going to be a borderline first-round player, Joey Ortiz and DL Hall. That I think the world of baseball is so dumb that you don't know what's going to happen between injuries, performance, or whatever it is, that I think GMs, that's why they spread it out a little bit, and they don't trade for one guy. And they're like, hey, we need options here because baseball's brutal and anything can happen.
Sure. I'm not saying it's a bad deal for the Brewers and the Orioles fleeced them. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying, again, like, I've been in clubhouses that haven't done things at the trade deadline. I desperately wanted to go to the playoffs. Okay. And a couple times, only a few times during my storied career, did we have a real chance. And when you don't make the moves, or you make a move that's like, come on, man, it sucks. You make a move like this, man, that energizes everything around your organization. So I think for that, it's deserves to be drafted here.
Great job, Trev. Like the angle on it. We are going to go with maybe the team and potentially the player that have both been the most overlooked this year.
Okay.
Because of those goddamn guard dogs. Seth Lugo.
I'm glad you picked him.
Is leading the American League in wins, ERA, innings pitched, and ERA plus kind of go hand in hand. Innings and ERA, Seth Lugo, the Kansas City Royals, who are, what's their record as we record this? 31-19. Fangraphs has your Royals with a 58% chance to make the postseason this year. Who had that coming in? We kind of laughed, dude. We said, like, the Royals kind of band-aided it. Like, they brought in a couple guys. They revamped their bullpen, but what
that might make them the most improved.
Right. We said that, but even if they improve by that, does that make them a 75-win team? They have been balling out. Their rotation is 4th in ERA in baseball. And Seth Lugo, another Jakey Tommy John was dreaming this up because the muscle in the arm doesn't get fully developed until you're 27 or whatever it is. Like, that's part of the science that I'm working with. There might be something to guys coming out of the bullpen and starting again if you're an adult man who pitches well and has multiple pitches. Seth Lugo, he was in the Mets bullpen. He was a really solid starter for San Diego last year. 26 starts, a 3.57, and now 34-year-old Seth Lugo has arguably been the best pitcher in the American League. And what was that contract? Do you have it, Beebs? Was that $15 million this year, $15 million next, player option in 26 for 15. So basically 2 years, $30 million.
It's a great contract.
Seth Lugo.
I'm happy you went there, and that's we did say that about the Royals. They tried to improve their team more than a lot of teams did. They bring in Hunter Renfroe, who really hasn't done much for him. Was it Adam Frazier? We'll talk about that next episode. Yeah. They brought in guys, and Seth Lugo was one of them. And he's just been a godsend for them. He's one of those guys where he throws way too many pitches. I would hate to face him. 4-seamer 24%, sinker 21%, curveball 15%, slider 12%, slurve 11%, putter change-up sweeper. Like, what are you supposed to do? And usually you'd say jack of all trades, master of none. But when you get in the box, and you don't know where the ball is going to go, a la Sonny Gray. It's a nightmare for me. I think a lot of hitters are feeling that way in the box against him, and the Royals have been one of the surprise teams. It's not just him, but he's obviously a massive, massive part of it. So I like that pick. I'm glad you went there.
Born in Louisiana, went to high school and college in Louisiana.
Yeah, what's that college? A cemetery college, Louisiana? That's not
Hadn't seen that one. Centenary? I went to Shreveport, Louisiana once, and it's a tough city.
My first fake ID was from Metairie, Louisiana.
That's good.
Actually, the pitching coach of the Giants gave it to me, JP Martinez. Thanks for that, JP. I think I just got him in trouble, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, imagine he gets like arrested.
Allegedly.
BJ Ryan also went to Centenary.
Wow.
Oh.
PJ Ryan. Nasty.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
I would have taken him up top. Who are you taking up top next?
There's so many good people. Am I going to go Tyler Glass now? Because that was pretty good. Hot guy. I'm going different, man. I'm choosing between two Padres. For all the same reasons, I could pick Dylan Cease here. The same reasons I talked about Corbin Burns. Like I think that move signified to Padres fans, like, hey, like, why are we like in the dumps? Like, why are we thinking about the team like the way we're thinking about the team? Like, we're still in this contention window. He's got this year, which is balling out. He's got next year, which is great. I'm not going him. I'm going Jerks and Profar because now I'm finally going the value play here. Do you know how much he signed for this year?
Isn't it like $1 million or something?
It's $1 million. I mean, we're talking barely over league minimum. League minimum is $750K. I don't know if he's got like incentive escalators. I don't think he does. I think it's a straight $1 million clip to come back and play left field for this team. And again, they've been searching for outfielders for a long time. And what has this guy done? He's played in every single game. He's got a 943 OPS, a 175 OPS plus. He already has 7 homers, 31 runs driven in. The walk to strikeout ratio, 25-28. 426 OBP. Like, he's playing at an MVP level. He might start the All-Star game, and he's playing for $1 million. I mean, I don't know if this is going to continue because he doesn't have that track record, Jake. He doesn't. And that's just the bottom line. He has a track record. This is his 11th year in the big leagues. I think he just got to 10 full years in the show. But for right now, what he's doing, I'm taking Jerks and Profar. I mean, I think that what's $1 million? And that's it. It's not next year. It's nothing.
I hope he gets a follow-up bag because this is... Didn't he opted out of $7 million to hit free agency the year before? Mm-hmm. And then he came back and got like 5 or something? Like
he
So he lost. I remember him losing that transaction, and then last year.
So I think he got 7.75 last year with the Rockies.
Okay.
So he maybe just got more or just got less. I don't know.
I think 2020 he opted out of 8.3.
I remembered him losing money in the transaction.
Maybe there was a buyout or something.
Yeah, there was a buyout for $1 million, so I think he ended up making it just a tad bit more.
Okay.
So technically, was the juice worth the squeeze there? But I think he did get more money out of the whole thing.
This pick might, and I don't mean this to slight him. This pick at the end of the season might look a little different, but for what he's doing right now. I mean,
the Padres 22nd version of this exercise.
Yeah, the Padres are playing 500 ball right now. They're second in the NL West. They're right in the thick of the wild card, and like they just again, like if it wasn't for him and Jackson Merrill, like we're talking about a completely different Padres team. So I was going between him and Cease, but I'm gonna give it to Profar just because of the $1 million thing.
It's incredible what he's been. And hearing on that team that he's been their best player. I wonder, again, it goes a long way back. He was the number 1 prospect, and he got called irrelevant by Will Smith this year, and you wonder if, hey, this guy's played a lot of baseball, he's having a good couple months, or like, I don't know, did it click? Like, that happens in this dumb sport. Go look at Justin Turner and Max Muncy's pages. A little different stories, but...
He's 31 years old. He's got a lot of baseball left in him. Is this the reverse crying Kershaw meme? He got called irrelevant, and all of a sudden he's going off.
I don't know. Good for him, man. Hopefully even if he ends up on that, because teams just don't believe in like 1 year, kind of. But you can get a 1 year deal that's a chunk load of money more than he got this year. So hopefully that's coming for young Jurickson. Beebs, where do we want to go?
I mean, Trev said one name that I think we were thinking about earlier. There's a couple arms.
Let's follow up on it quick because I think Trev danced all around it. That we'll go Cease.
So.
I mean, that transaction kind of blindsided us because we were so thirsty for baseball. He literally misses the team flight to Korea that he's got to fly over solo dolo. 59 innings pitched, 73 strikeouts. Yo. The lowest hit per 9 allowed in the National League. 10 starts, a 305. Mr. Worldwide. But yeah, and let's see what happens. But Drew Thorpe was a piece they got in that Soto deal that we already talked about. And then it's another grab bag of prospects, which I just told everyone why GMs might do that. I mean, the other side of it is if nobody from the grab bag clicks, that looks bad on you. Let's see. We'll give our White Sox some time because, my God, do they need it. Yeah. But Padres went out and got an ace.
And if we're talking the pure value of that move, like the immediate reaction from San Diego fans after that was like, wow, 2 years of Dylan Cease and we didn't trade either of the top two pitchers. And like nothing that I think they're actively missing. They don't even remember they had Drew Thorpe.
Right?
I think that they did a great job in the offseason. And some of it's hindsight, like the Profar signing is hindsight. But, bringing in, you had the trade Juan Soto. And I think, most industry people think that they did a good job in the return there. But also bringing in Cease, like bringing in those two guys, again, it just signified to the franchise, the organization, the fans, everyone, like we're still right in this thing. And I'm probably the highest on the Padres in me and Ryan Cohen.
Yeah.
In the company. I'm high on the Padres. I think that they're a scary, scary team. They get into the playoffs. I know we've seen that before. They lost to the Phillies. Bryce Harper. Oh my gosh, do you remember that?
No, I see it with the Padres. Can I see them be like 6 games over 500? Like I'd love to see that. And then I could really sink my teeth into it. What I have been sinking my teeth into, Trev. Black Box Sports AI. We've talked a lot of AI on this program.
Yes, we have.
Remember our AI episode? Yeah, that episode actually that popped on the podcast apps. So it wasn't.
Is it really?
Yeah, on the YouTube.
People said that was the worst episode they've ever
heard. Maybe we got the nerdy AI clicks on podcast, but that episode actually did great.
In 2 years, that'll get a jump.
Black Box. It's an AI MLB bet. So this isn't like everything. This is MLB AI betting. Last year they finished up 30 units. They hit on 68% of their picks. I will tell you, I've been doing this. There's ebbs and flows. Like it is, you're still betting. So don't think like, you're going to just constantly take down the world. But last year, they got to a really nice place, and they're getting into it again this year. So, Black Box Sports AI, it's the tool to bet MLB smarter. Get started today by using the code BASEBALL at blackboxsportsai.com for your first week free. So, there you go, people. Like, if you're on the fence, first week free is the way to do it. Baseball at blackboxsportsai.com. There's a link in the description. Go check it out. And I don't know who's running it. I'll have to double check. They send kind of cute texts.
When they tell you the picks.
Who's running it? It's computers.
Oh, that's true.
Computers are good at comedy now.
It's true.
You just got Catfish.
And know what else? I think I've said this last time.
By a computer.
There's been a couple days where they'll send the email or text, like however you want it. And there's been a couple days they said like, hey, we don't have one today. The AI's
I
right?
like that.
Like that's not them being like, oh shit, we gotta
have to
give
you something.
Trev, let's wrap this up. Our final move of the offseason.
There's so many places I could go here. I'm actually mad we're only doing 5. Can I do honorable mentions at the end? Just quick?
Yeah.
I could see us rattling through the other considerations.
Okay. We've gotten through like a lot of guys. Do I do starting pitcher? Do I go here? I'm going to go somewhere. Okay, I'm going to use that for I got 2 guys for my honorable mention, but I'm going to go with my boy Jack Flaherty.
Good.
Last pick.
Good for you.
He started to like strike people out again. The Tigers, they needed somebody to come in there, and they needed a lot of, help all over their roster. They probably should have brought in some bats as well, but Jack's been really, really good for them. I'm getting his stats up right now. Had him, lost him. 3.79. He's got 72 Ks in the 54 innings, a 106 whip, 11.85 Ks per 9, bro. I think that might be, is that leading the big leagues right now?
Dude,
get that up.
I looked at his savant, like he's doing
He's back.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is a 1 year 14 for them. So again, a value play. He is not. He is. He's leading all the big leagues in strikeouts per 9. That's what I thought. Okay.
Jack. Got the
Just
girlfriend. Jeez.
He's in a good place mentally. He's pitching well for them.
Dark Knight.
I had to give it to my boy Jack. People are going to hate my graphic. I just realized that your graphic is going to be so much better than my graphic.
Well,
but I gave good points.
Hold on, my friend. Because I just texted Beebs, and I'll be honest with the people because that's who I am. This is a little bit for the content of it all. But also, if this was Debate Club, I think I could bring a pretty good debate to the table.
Okay.
I'm going to go the other side of the Corbin Burns trade. Give me Joey Ortiz, who's been balling out and has 1.5 WAR already this year. OPS in the 9s, and his calling card's supposed to be his defense. Let's see when and if DL Hall comes back. And with my Brewers, let's see who that draft pick is, because it'll be somebody who's probably mowing your team down in a couple years. The Brewers have been great this year. I was looking at giving it to Reese because we've all loved the Reese signing. And he's been Reese, and he got paid. Yeah. It's a nice transaction. Fuck it. Give me
honorable mentions for me. This guy should have been on my list because he's just like every single year he's going to be on. David Robertson. No, but listen, dude. Have you seen the Rangers bullpen is horrible except for him and Yates. Like if it wasn't for those two guys, where would the Rangers be? He's sitting with a 2.28 ERA, 0.845 whip. 32 strikeouts and 23 2/3 innings pitched. Like the guy's doing what he's doing. I'm doing him, and I'm doing Jock Peterson. He's been a menace.
Yeah.
He's been a menace for the Snakes. He went up top against the Dodgers last night and was like just feeling himself, pointing out to the bleachers, like he's like, this is my town too. So those are my honorable mentions, is David Robertson and Jock Peterson.
Dude, Jock, obviously different players, but Jock Peterson just doesn't get respected like he should. Like he's just mauled.
Because he drives a Cybertruck, that's why.
He's an interesting cat. But he's also just mauled right-handing pitching at, a borderline all-star level for a career now.
His numbers are nuts right now. He got 989 OPS. Right?
I was randomly going to compare him to like Adam Dunn for just not being appreciated properly in his time. Jock might be in that boat. 989 OPS right now.
Yeah, he's going to reach 200 homers this year, which is like, that's a big number of homers, man.
He's having like an incredible career. He has a 36 home run season in his bag. And yeah, as long as he stays healthy and you sit him against some of those lefties. He was going to be my him, Jordan Hicks, who we've talked about a lot on this program. I mean, there's a whole Yamamoto argument that if you're doing everything, Ohtani and Managa and that guy, he's got a 3.17, and all we remember is his opening day where he got bashed. You take that out.
Butter knife that.
You take that out. Yamamoto's been incredible.
If James was here, Eric Fetty would be talked about,
right.
No doubt.
Always.
Who's your honorable mention? Do you have an honorable mention?
I just kind of named him with you a little bit. I won't go too over the top. I think, could Severino get a shout out? Maybe. I don't know.
Why didn't you say Teoscar Hernandez? That's your guy. He's been great for the Dodgers when he needs to be great for the Dodgers.
I love me some Teoscar.
You do.
You know what? Mariners fans, you've been all over my bum, and rightfully so. Luke Raley. Yeah. Luke the Nuke's been going nuts. I love you, Seattle. Can't wait to get back out there. And I can't wait to do this again on Friday as Trev does his Memorial Day tribute. Thank you to everyone for listening. Go subscribe, buy a shirt, whatever it is. It all helps us. You guys are the best. We thank you.
Greatest country in the world.
Woo! My other, if I was going full silly, I was going to say, could you do calling up Paul Skeens?
Off-season.
He's nasty.
It doesn't really work. But.
We could have done Glass now, great for the Dodgers. Pepio and Johnny DeLuca for the Rays.
New Year's
He's got
Eve.
powerful legs.
They're doing it.
You want to, Trev, with your right hand, you want to, punch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't make any sense. No, that is a ground ball double play.
Yes.